Okay, hi Nakul. Welcome to
Hi,
Sakshi Post. Hi.
hi.
So I have seen. I first of all, I want to know, you have worked in Collywood, Tollywood, and I think you've sung some Tulu songs also, right?
Yeah.
So where exactly are you from?
My native is Karnataka near Mangalore,
Mm.
but we are Marathi speaking people.
Oh, so that's another addition for you. That's great.
Yeah.
That's nice. So your song from Shekhar Kamala's Love Story is a massive, massive hit, and it was even used in the promos of the movie. So,
Yeah.
what was your, how did you feel when you saw that your song featured in the promo?
Uh, it's a
Because the trailer
very
also had
blissful,
it.
it's a very blissful feeling when you hear yourself, in such a big project, and especially when it's being promoted everywhere. And uh, we knew that this song was going to be big, but I didn't. Initially, I had sung the song as a track, to be honest.
Um,
Music director Pavan, he's a good friend of mine, and while he was composing, he wanted someone to sing the song. So initially, Pavan just called me to sing the track, a scratch track of sorts,
yeah,
and we sent it to Shekhar sir. And back then, I didn't know that my voice will get. It'll become final, or it'll become such a big song at the end. And it's a great feeling to you know uh, how do I say, everyone says when big singers keep saying, no, it doesn't matter if it's a track or a final
true, true.
recording,
Yeah,
you have to give your best. This is this is the perfect example of that.
yeah. So, have you seen the movie? I mean, did you
Yeah,
see
yeah, of
the
course.
watch the song?
No, no, I've seen the film.
Okay.
I've seen the film.
Yeah, because that I think that is exactly the point where the film takes another turn. So that's
Yes,
kind of a turning point in this movie.
yes.
Yeah,
And that's one of the songs which is I think highlight of the first half. In fact, highlight of the entire film for me. And
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
especially because of the way Sai Pallavi and Nag Chaitanya have performed, and
yeah,
the way Kamala sir has shown the whole song. It's amazingly choreographed, amazingly
yeah,
shot, and it's everything. It was a complete package of all goodness coming together.
yeah. Because I think I mean it starts off on a high note and then it moves to the softer side. I mean it's more like it turns into a romantic track later.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So the song itself has a very good cadence to it actually.
Yes, yes. That song is more like a journey of, it starts with a very soft humming. You don't know what's gonna happen. It just
Yeah,
starts with starts with that. And then Janita has done a great job in that song, and she has sung really well.
yeah,
The way she enters with that Evo Evo Kalale, that's amazing. And suddenly the track explodes into Tram Pam Tararam Pam, and then you
yeah.
get that. Oh, okay, now the song is getting somewhere.
True, true. So how have your fans reacted after they heard this song? Because they have seen you, I mean, they heard you in Love Mocktail, and then you've even composed tunes and done some music direction and all that. So what was it like? Did you get feedback from them after they heard you sing the song?
Yeah, people are very supportive, and they have loved all the tracks, and especially tracks from Love Story. And mainly because this film has crossed the borders of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh and have reached to the other parts of the country as well.
Yeah,
People have started loving it, and I still keep getting tags on Instagram. People keep doing reels, and people, in fact, they do the covers and then they send it to me saying, please have a listen to it and let me know what you think. You have done
yeah,
a great job, and things like that. So it feels really good. And I think most importantly, people have started recognizing me as a singer and a music composer,
mm,
which is a vision I had back when I wanted to get into the music industry, saying, I want people to recognize me as both.
yeah.
And by God's
So
grace, I can see that happening.
That's nice. That's nice. So how long has it been since you began all this?
I seriously started in the film industry, I think from 2015 onwards.
Mm,
So it's been around 6 years now.
yeah.
Yeah. So 2013 was when I quit my engineering job, and
Mm,
I decided to do diploma in music at KM Conservatory. So I finished
okay.
that in 2016, and then yeah, I started working in 2015 itself for the industry, and yeah, it's been
When
six
did
years.
you decide that you want to become a singer? You want to move completely into music and
Singing was always like a thing for me. It was a dream to become a singer when I was a kid.
yeah,
Uh, and I think engineering, during my engineering college times, I think it was my first year, is when I was a participant in Z Kannada Saregamapa, and then I went on to
yeah,
participate
yeah.
in Saregamapa. And I
Mm,
think those two events um, helped me believe in myself, saying, okay, I can actually do something about
yeah,
uh, instead of getting into the conventional route of engineering job, MBA in or in the country or out of the country. It's like the regular drill, what most of them do. I thought, okay, if I'm very passionate about music, I love doing music. I enjoy that the most compared to anything else. Why not try and convert that into my life itself?
mm,
And the more I thought about it, the more I started getting into it. I finished my engineering, and it really started hitting me when I was working. I was doing 9 to 5 job at Robert Bosch,
mm,
and that's when it hit me, saying, I know that I can work hard and um, become a good musician. All I
yeah,
have to do is dedicate time for it, which I have never given.
yeah.
Without just music being part time, if I could have achieved so much, though small, there has been some kind of recognition in Bangalore.
Mm.
Why not, jump into it fully and do something unconventional, at least in my world.
Do
So
you
that's
think,
when,
training in music really helps you, or is it okay just to have a good voice? Because you said you've been, you have trained and you wanted to become a singer.
yeah,
And then of course other things made you believe in yourself. So do you
yeah.
think it is very important to have some kind of training in music, or just a good voice would do?
I would say that 10th standard kid can't be working for Intel, Facebook,
Yeah,
unless he's like one in a billion.
true, true,
You know
true.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Uh, art is, yes, art is something which is very close to human beings, and it's always been that it's genetically engraved in us. Art
mm, mm,
and studies came much later. Art in the form of books came much later. It was all art is a way to express our emotions through any material sort of material form which can be consumed, right? So music
yeah,
is consumed through our ears, through sonic experience. I think a good voice or a good instrument player who naturally plays or sings well, anyone can move us. You don't need to learn music. But to sustain, I think, in the industry these days, when there are 40,000 songs coming out every day,
yeah.
look at Spotify. So um, how do how can I stand as an individual and as a unique personality when it comes to standing against 40,000, a crowd of 40,000 people every day?
Yeah.
How do I get my own identity? How can my music be different? So it's a journey. It's a nice marriage between what I've learned and how I want to apply those tools into my music execution. How do I apply those tools to express myself? Ultimately, it's a circle. Music learning, music making is always a circle. There's a center point of expressing, being able to express your emotions, but how you do it is what defines is it's a spiral staircase where you keep coming back to the same point, but as something new. So that's what learning does to you.
Yeah. So you've sung songs in different languages. So if it's a foreign language to you, or language foreign to you rather, so how do you practice?
My first ever Tamil song, I took 6 hours to record.
Okay.
Yeah, mainly because I knew Kannada, and Kannada is very similar to Telugu, so I never struggled with Telugu singing.
Mm-hmm.
Tamil, because there's an accent to it, the way you say. There's one nice good Tamil accent. There's one colloquial Tamil accent. There's one Chennai Tamil accent, and unless you live in Tamil Nadu or at least in Chennai, you won't know the difference between each of these. So it is difficult to sing. It is difficult to sound natural in a foreign language. Let's say suddenly I get a song like a German song, for example. Unless I know the language at least to a certain extent, it'll be very
Yeah.
difficult for me to sound natural. I can sound flawless. All my
Mm.
pronunciation is great, but there'll be one something which you can't explain it, but you know that it's not sung by a German. The whole fight is to get to that point where I sound like a Telugu guy, I sound like a Tamil guy, I sound like a Mallu, or I sound like a Kannadiga.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that takes time. That definitely takes time. It doesn't happen with one or two songs. So
And
we
I
sit
guess
with this.
acceptance also matters, right? Like SPB in one of the interviews, I think in several interviews, he said that because he was a South Indian, that accent was showing, and it took a lot of time for people, to North Indians especially, to accept him to be
Yeah.
singing for Salman Khan. So
Yes.
probably you let the singers practice and give them their time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more to do with the singer's mentality also, and what the
Yeah,
singers used to, and how much of that language is being exposed on him.
yeah.
Now, if you listen to SPB sir songs, maybe the last Hindi song that he sang would have been way better than the first song he sang.
Mm,
Way more natural. So,
true.
a language has to grow on you.
Yeah,
And acceptance, of course, it's that Udit Narayanji has sung songs in Tamil, and though his Tamil pronunciations were not up to the mark, or at least pure, people have
mm,
accepted songs. His songs are a hit. For Sahana is such a huge hit, which he sang for Rahman sir.
yeah.
And
And we have Shreya Ghoshal singing in Kannada.
yeah,
We have
but
so
Shreya
many
Ghoshal very natural. Shreya Ghoshal sounds super natural because she has sung so many songs, and sitting with the lyricists, sitting with the directors, there is an actual exercise that goes into, how to sing a song. Like if tomorrow I have to sing a Telugu song, I will first sit with the lyricist or the director and read the entire song in front of him to get the flow and understand the meaning of each and every word, and only then go and sing,
Yeah,
because I have to own that poetry first before rendering it. That's
yeah.
a And that happens over a period of time. As I said, I took 6 hours to record my first Tamil song, but now I can do a Tamil song in half an hour.
Yeah. So now you're more confident. So you moved to Chennai, or you're in Bangalore now?
No, no, no. I'm in Chennai. I've been in Chennai since 8 years now.
Okay. So so Love Mocktail, you rendered a couple of songs, and then in Love Mocktail sequel, you kind of got more responsibility.
Yes.
So how did you prepare for it? And I mean, what was your reaction like? I mean, imagine from Raghu Dikshit to you, so you should be like feeling on top of the world.
No, I wasn't feeling on top of the world initially, because it happened over a period of time, and Love Mocktail was such a big hit. Raghu and the team had approached Raghu Dikshit initially for Love Mocktail 2 as well, and Raghu had started composing. He had sent me 2 tunes to program for Love Mocktail 2
Mm,
as well.
mm, mm.
The movie was anyways on, but unfortunately, business terms didn't work out between them, and Raghu had to they had to part their ways. And that was kind of a sad situation back then because the movie hadn't come to me at that point.
Mm.
I was like, oh, they have lost Raghu, and I was working for Raghu back then, so I was more like, oh, we have lost a film,
Yeah.
because I was working. I was doing music production for him. I was singing in his films and stuff. And after some time, I get this call from Krishna saying, hey, you know what? I think you're our best bet as music director for Love Mocktail 2, because you know Love Mocktail films so well.
Yeah.
And I was overwhelmed for sure. And I spoke to Raghu also about it. And it was a carefully taken decision, but I'm glad it happened now. This is the selfish me speaking, that it happened, because the movie is amazing and it's great to work with Krishna. And by God's grace, all songs have been liked by the team, and
Yeah.
3 songs out, and people have liked it. So it's a great movie to work on. I had really fun working on the background score of the film. A lot of
Mm.
emotions and a lot of scope to do good scoring, where the music is
Mm.
the hero, certain places, and I could really play around with uh, that space. So it's nice. I feel happy about it, and I'm glad Love Mocktail 2 happened.
So the song Ide Swarga, I mean, it's kind of topping the charts, and you must have you seen the way it has been picturized, and did whatever you had in mind, the vision translate into, I mean, on the big screen when you saw the song?
Yeah, I think definitely the visuals are stunning with the song. Uh, One thing about this film is none of the songs are made um, out of the cinema's the scope of the story.
Yeah.
Everything is story, and there are totally 5 songs in the film, and Ide Swarga comes at a very crucial point in the film. And I think people are going to feel go through a very beautiful journey with the songs and the story. And when Ide Swarga comes in, they are going to be very delighted with the way we have done it. Because it's
Okay.
very
So
hard to because the first song, Ninadine Januma, is more like a bittersweet song, bittersweet ballad, and Ide Swarga is a very happening, romantic, a very cool kind of a track.
yeah.
E Prema is a very bubbly track, and it's a female solo as well. So there's clearly a journey in the movie. But how have we connected the dots? I think people are going to love it once they watch the film.
Okay. So you sing, you compose. What is it that you enjoy the most?
I think both, definitely both. I think the best combination will be me singing my compositions.
True, true. Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be Sone Pe Suhaga.
So you're like, when you're singing, I mean, when you're working on music, it takes you places, and there are times where different climatic. So, what kind of precautions do you take? I mean, do you do any special riyas kind of thing to keep your voice intact?
I generally have stopped thinking about it. I had
Mm.
this the same issue that you're talking about. I thought something was very wrong with me in 2010 or 11, writing in Hindi Saregamapa. And I was so mentally broken down that as soon as I went to Bombay, I would catch cold. I would get throat infection. So much so
Mm.
ki there was a wild card entry entire round had happened. There was like, here's our 12 best singers for the finale. That kind of a round, gala
Mm.
round. And on that day, I had tonsils,
Oh God.
and I had to sing with that. I had to do it. And imagine the kind of mental pressure I was going, because my voice was literally gone. Okay, आज क्या गाना है मुझे? I was literally like that. And I
Mm.
had to somehow find that energy and sing. So I was mentally broken. And after that, every time I traveled to Mumbai, I had this thing saying, oh, I'm gone. I have cold, I have throat infection, and it would happen. So after that series of bad events, I was like, this is not going to happen. I should control my mind more rather than the body. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to pay even I'm not going to waste a single second on thinking about this. I have done all this. From now on, I think I can do anything. That's the kind of mental preparation I started doing. And since that day, I travel to any city, anywhere, I don't feel any problem in my voice when I have to deliver.
Mm,
So I
that's
think
good.
it's more to do with
Mind.
our mindset. If we keep telling ourselves, oh, okay, I'm going to Bangalore, it's so cold out there, I might catch cold, oh, I have a nose block, I might get this, oh, this, that, Chennai, it's so hot, I'll get exhausted. It's all a mind play for me.
Yeah.
My
So
throat,
how
my body, if I keep saying, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm amazing, I'm excellent, nothing is going to happen.
do you believe in affirmations?
Sorry?
Do you believe in affirmations? Like,
Of
yes,
course. That is the kick. Otherwise, I living in the world of doubts. Yeah. Ifs and buts. I hate ifs and buts.
okay. So you're glad you moved to Chennai. How did you cross paths with A.R. Rahman?
I was studying in Sir School for 3 years. I was doing degree, and a couple of times I got an opportunity to perform in front of him as well.
Mm,
And the actual opportunity came in when there was an opening in this band called Nuffs, which Sir had started,
mm,
and it's a vocal jazz band, and I was one of the singers in that band.
mm,
That's where slowly people started recognizing my voice, and they started calling me for chorus singing. And the engineers would call, okay, we have a male chorus recording to be done, we need 5 male singers, okay, call Nakul also, let him be one of them. That's how it started. And
okay.
then eventually they also started noticing my singing capability, and they suggested my name for one of the songs in Sachin film, Sachin A Billion Dreams.
Mm,
And that was my first opportunity. I ended up singing a song called Deshamukkate,
mm,
a true version of Hind Mere Jin, which Sir has sung.
mm,
So that was first ever solo for Sir. And after that, there was no looking back. He kept giving me tracks. I kept singing them. CEO in the House happened. And then during Sarkar, he realized that I produce music as well. So I started getting into programming as well. And then that went on growing, and suddenly he realized that I can mix the songs as well. Then I started getting mixing projects and mastering projects. Started with jingles, this, that, and finally ended up mixing Param Sundari from Mimi.
mm.
Yeah.
So how is it working with him? And he has a distinct working style here. So what's your experience working with him?
Sir will make you feel very embarrassed. He's filled with so much energy. Doesn't matter what time of the day, and when you look at him, you'll be like, what? He's like, there are no words. You'll start feeling very bad about yourself. Where's my energy gone? Why is he so active? Why am I not? Why am I feeling sleepy?
So,
His aura is amazing. One thing I still remember, working in the nights at 4 o'clock, we'll almost be passed out, and Sir suddenly calls and you're awake. That's his aura. It's like when you're in front of Sir, sleep is gone, everything is gone, and that's the kind of positive attitude he creates. And he always speaks music. It's always music
oh,
on my
yeah.
it's always about new innovations and new tech. um okay, let's buy this, let's buy that. Oh, did you check out this new technology? Artificial intelligence is taking over music, check this. It's there's that new software is coming in. Did you listen to this artist? I just heard him, amazing stuff. So it's always that, it's always that world of newness. It's a world of creativity. So it always keeps us kicking. Every day at studio is like, oh, I've learned something new today.
So you work with different music directors and you're one. So what do you think is very crucial for a music director? What does he need to bring to the table when he's actually because the final output I think depends on him.
Yeah, I think considering the technical aspects, where you should know end to end as a music composer. You should know head to toe of what goes into music production. How do you compose to what is mixing and mastering, and how should you mix for an OTT release, or how should you mix your track for a theater release, and all those technical stuff is a given. You have to know it. Other than
Mm.
that, I think the most important is keeping your egos away
Yeah.
and listening to the team, mainly the director, and having rational conversations with the team, and trying just to make sense of what the story is and what the director is looking, where he is coming from, what is his school of thought, because every director has a direction set for music as well. And the director would have lived with the film a lot more than music director. it,
Yeah.
if story is directors, then it's more under his control, and he will have a mindset saying, okay, this is how I think we should go. So it's very crucial for a music composer to sort of put yourself in the director's shoes and see what he is trying to tell you. And you should also have enough tools to understand what the director is trying to say.
Yeah.
That becomes crucial. Uh, Music vocabulary is totally different from direction vocabulary. And the way a director might interpret music, he might be using the words which might not be known for musicians. It
Mm.
might be expressing emotions or expressing music, or a way of saying that here the music has to be loud or soft, or there are so many minute things, and we should be able to understand what the director is trying to say.
Yeah.
And it's always with the director, it's always with the story. Music is always with the story, it's never a separate hero. You should never
Yeah.
over.
So you work, I mean, you lent your voice to that. Is the work style any bit there when compared to how it was
um
here?
I wouldn't say different. It's a very special feeling. It doesn't happen every day in your life.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, there was an audition process that happened, and once we got selected, the English songs were already tracked, and we had the videos as well for the songs.
Mm.
And the tough part is to, since it's animation and since it's an English animation, it becomes really hard for lyricists to try and match the vowels.
Mm.
And once that happens, and right, try and match the as much as possible, as close as possible to what they've animated. Like it's a mismatch if in English they're saying Y, and uh, Tamil or Kannada they write E, for example.
Yeah.
That's a very big challenge. And for us as singers, singing in general is way more fun than singing for normal films. I'm laughing, I'm literally laughing, and
Yeah. Yeah.
super fun to do that. And same time, we have to match the lip movement of the animation as well. So it's a fun thing to do. Certain different things, but it's fun. Yeah.
So musicals are a big thing abroad. Like you see a lot of music-based movies in other languages. I mean, foreign languages. I mean, do you think it works in India if you were to come up with a musical? Like, if you, I mean, have you had that thought of coming out with a musical, a movie entirely based on music and
Yeah, I think it should work. Sort of a musical was, I would say, what was that film? Ranbir Kapoor and Katrina Kaif's Preetham did that film. Jagga Jasoos
okay,
in Hindi. That was sort of a musical where the entire, I think in the first half, I still remember even the dialogues were like sung rather than just
mm,
spoken.
mm,
So it was like a nice try mixing musical with the Indian cinema and presenting it. I think it'll work, but we have to be a little careful in the way we present it to the Indian audience, because the way the music and the cinema consumption is happening in India is very different from a musical that happens abroad.
Yeah.
If you see the number of people who actually go and attend a live drama in your city has come down.
True.
Not much importance is going towards a live drama as well, though it's a
Mm.
music. So I think we have to be very smart in the way we pitch that idea to the audience. As you see in the regular films, the number of songs have come down to like one, two, or three.
Yeah.
If you see Bollywood films, there's hardly any background score as well. Everything is Foley and dialogue effects oriented. It's more closer to realism. The whole world is moving towards realism, and what they want to relate their real world to the film. So, how do you bring that audience to a musical where Disney?
I know. Yet I think, there is a lot of importance given to music, considering that there's so many musical reality shows and everybody wants to be a singer now, and there's like innumerable annual or star something like that. So people are actually wanting to become singers, and now they have this karaoke and BGM, and then they go on singing and they share their thing with them. So, do you think these reality shows will actually open up opportunities for aspiring singers? To you?
uh, of course, see, reality shows gave. I mean, back in the day when social media was not so strong, uh, for me, I think what I earned through a reality show was contacts in the industry and a sort of, it was like a check on myself. Ki what I'm capable of doing, where do I stand, and who are the other participants who are singing with me, and how good or bad are they
Mm,
compared to where I stand. And I was at the rock bottom, according to me. That's how
mm,
yet I was standing with them. And that gave me a kick saying, okay, I might be too critical in self-evaluating, but though I feel everyone is better than me, I'm still with them. So there might be something in me that has brought me to that stage. So let me exploit it. So let me start
yeah.
believing myself that if I put extra effort, something might happen. And like when I was in Hindi Saregama, there were so many. There were two Pakistani singers. One of my good friends, Farid Hassan, he's from Delhi Gharana. Like his whole family lives and breathes Delhi Gharana of Hindustani music. Sniti Mishra was there. Sugandha was there. Abhilasha Chalam was there. And everyone had classical training. Sugandha had some PhD in Tappa Hindustani music. Sniti was Vidwan. She had finished her Vidwan in Hindustani classical music. Abhilasha was doing her Vidwat in Carnatic classical music. So suddenly you are put it. I come from engineering background, nowhere close to these guys. And then you're like, okay, where do I stand? But I'm still with them. So I got a push and I got a kick as well, saying,
Mm,
time to and time to invest some time in it. That's what
yeah.
reality show. It wasn't about, oh, I'm famous now, oh, music directors have started calling me, oh, this or that, I'm in an ad. It's not that. It's definitely not that. And I have seen many planes crash as well after the reality show. Many people, they can't convert the opportunity. What happens is they quit from wherever they have come, and
Mm,
uh, if it's a job, it's an education, whatever it is, but unfortunately things don't work out after the reality show for them, so they'll end up nowhere. Being a part of reality show is a long affair, 1 year, 1.5 years,
mm,
and you don't know what's going to happen after that. And
true,
one and a
true.
half years of pause in education or workspace is a big gap.
Mm,
So
yeah.
things might, you have to be really smart, uh, especially in this aspect. You should be 100% sure about what you're doing. Otherwise,
Mm,
on the personal note, reality shows can be bad. It's good for people who are watching, it's entertaining, it's good for the channels,
yeah.
it's for the industry because we are getting good from reality show. But I think there's one line which differentiates the two things, and people have to be really, really careful about. No, I don't wish bad life for anyone. A struggling life in the industry where things don't happen. I've seen that, and I don't enjoy that at all. I don't enjoy seeing any of my friends in that space. So
Mm.
a good taken earlier is the best.
Yeah. So what are your future projects? You have any Tollywood projects in hand?
Right now, I'm working on a Tamil single, and
Mm.
yeah, and it's going to be a big Tamil single with someone big. Hopefully, they're still hunting for the right cast. Other than
Okay.
that, Rahman sir's work is going on. He has a lot of films, and we are cracking by one. In
Mm.
Kannada, I might be signing up 2 films. I have 2 films in hand right now. I might be signing 2 more.
Okay. This is composing or singing?
Composing,
Great.
composing,
Okay.
and singing. You never know. Once the song happens, if the director likes it in my voice, then
Yeah.
it's. Other than that, a couple of songs which are ready for release. Just waiting for
Okay.
that.
That's great. That's great. So nice talking to you. Thanks a lot, Nakul, and all the
Thank,
best for all your
thank you so
future projects. Yeah. Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much.